Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about is it worth buying Lethal Company. Make sure to watch the entire video as I'll explain the cost, what the game is, and everything else, and then eventually decide if it is worth buying the game. So the first thing we need to explain is what is Lethal Company. Lethal Company is a first-person horror and survival game where basically you have a ship that's assigned to you by a company that you don't know much about. And you have to land at different moons. There's a bunch of different ones that sometimes have different challenges. You need to go in and collect a bunch of loot and bring it back to the company. You have 3 days each time to meet a certain quota that they assign that just gets higher and higher each time. And if you don't meet that quota, they fire you from the job by ejecting you from your ship and killing you. Also, inside of the buildings where you collect loot, there's a lot of ways you can die, like falling off and also dying to some of the dangerous things like spiders, brackens, snare fleas, and things like that. Now for the actual cost of the game. The game is $10, which is not too expensive. A lot of new games that are coming out are over $60, which is getting a bit expensive. The Lethal Company is only $10, so it is pretty affordable. I'm sure most people have a way to get $10, and most of the lowest paying jobs in the world, that is only an hour, in the United States we'll say, it is only an hour work to get this game, and it's just $10. It's pretty cheap to get, so buying this game is not going to affect how much money you have at all. Now I guess we could talk about the multiplayer. So you can play this game with your friends. There's a built-in voice and talking system where you can talk to your friends, and the further away you get from them, the harder it is to hear them. If you call your friends on Discord or something, it kind of ruins the whole purpose of the game. Or if you split up, you can't hear them anymore, and it gets kind of scary. And it is pretty fun playing with friends, a lot better than playing solo. It's not as scary. You have people to talk to, and you can work together to try and do a lot of different challenges, like seeing how long you can survive, trying to reach the highest quota, trying to, there's just a bunch of stuff. You can also make videos, like I am, doing challenges like the backwards challenge only, and just a bunch of different content that you can make from this game, which is pretty good. Now, my opinion on the game is really fun to play. This is honestly one of my favorite games right now. It's definitely worth buying it. I mean, there's so much you can do in here. It doesn't even get boring after a bunch of playing. I mean, you can collect items, you can play with your friends, you can run away from monsters. They even have a bunch of different features like challenge moons and stuff, which just is a really good addition to the game. Challenge moons are really fun. There's also a bunch of different items, and the game does update pretty frequently, so it's not like they have or will abandon the game anytime soon. They update this game usually more than once every single month. The challenge moons change weekly, and it's different every time a new seeded moon. There's like 7 or 8 different maps on this game, and there will probably be more maps soon. This is just one of like the 20 different monsters. There's like the 10 different monsters that you can actually find in here. There's a lot of different ways to actually have fun in here. There's even like different interiors. Like you don't only have to go to this map interior. You can go to a bunch of different ones. Like there's this one, there's also a mansion. And now we have probably the best part of the game, which I'll talk about now, which is mods. Mods are actually super fun to play with. You can get them anywhere, like the Thunderstorm Mod Manager. I have a video explaining how to actually get the mods. And you can install basically any kind of mod you want to have on the game, which makes the experience just so much more fun. And there's not just like 5 different kinds of mods. There's like 50 different mods that you can install. Oopsie. We are not going to talk about what just happened. I'm honestly just chilling on this game. It is really fun to play. There's so many different mods. You can install more suits so that you have different outfits to wear. You can make yourself faster. You can install more enemies, different worlds, different interiors. There's like an infinite possibility of mods that you can use to basically just make the game like similar to you. You can even design your own mods to make your round like your own. It is really fun to play with mods, and it just makes the game like 50 times better. Now I'm just going to play around right here, and I'm actually just going to talk like I'm normally playing the game. There's not too much else to say about this game, but there is so many different things. It might seem like simple at first and stuff. Like there's not, oh, I almost just fell. That would not have been good. It seems simple at first, like there's just those couple maps that you can play. But once you actually get into challenge videos and mods, the game becomes very complex, and there's a lot of different things to do. It's also really easy to learn, and basically anybody can play this game and be decent at it. But it's also not just for noobs, because there's some very skilled people that play this game, and they do things that nobody else can, like going for really high quota runs, or installing mods that make the game nearly impossible, yet they still beat it. So basically anybody at any skill level can play this game. You can even install mods to make it easier if you really want to. So basically, no matter how skilled or unskilled you are, you can play this game. You can just install different mods to make it go at like your own pace. There's just so much to do. So basically, you just have to collect as much as possible, as many items as possible without dying. If you die on a solo run, you lose everything. If you have multiple players, you actually have to pay. So I'm just gonna try not to die right now. I mean, I guess we could go over this direction. Okay, so there's a key. There is locked rooms. It's pretty annoying when you find a locked room and you don't have a key, because then you have to go look for them. They don't actually appear as items. Keys are honestly pretty difficult to find. Alright, we can go this way. I don't know why I'm lagging a little bit, but this game does not require a good computer to use. Or like, well, it does require a computer. This is not a mobile game. You have to get it on Steam. And once again, it is $10. But it does not require good components at all. I think the lowest thing is something worse than a GTX like 1060, which is not a very good part. I'm sure anybody with a computer would be able to run this game. Maybe not perfectly, but at least at like 30 FPS. I'm pretty sure everybody can play this game at least a playable rate. It is not very high graphics, but you could also turn up your graphics and stuff. Or you could install mods to actually make it look really good if you want it to be a more complex graphics game. There's definitely mods that let you do that. And the different maps that people create, there are so many of those. And they just make the game like a million times better, because there's just a ton of different maps that you can play on. You're not just limited to these. And you can install mods that give you different interiors and everything. There's so much that you can customize just by installing a couple of mods. So I guess after this tiny little attempt here, or I could just show you right now how to get mods. So you're going to go to whatever browser you use and just look up Thunderstore Mod Manager. You're going to click on that. You're just going to download it. And then once you actually end up getting the map, you're going to look up Thunderstore Mod Manager here. You're going to click on it. You're going to have to do a little bit of installation. I promise it's not a virus. I've been using it pretty much ever since Lethal Company came out. You go into here, you search Lethal Company, select game. You can create new profiles so that you don't have to reinstall mods a bunch. You can actually create like different profiles for different challenge videos and stuff. Sometimes it does take a little bit to load, so oh, never mind, it already loaded. So you select profile. I have mods on here. It takes a second to load in. And look, so we've got the mini map, which shows you a map in the corner. The best ones are here. You could go here and you could get literally anything. Like, let's search up like, let me search up like SCP. And boom, we've got this. There's even an SCP interior somewhere. You could search up skinwalkers. They have those to make people mimic like people on your team. I don't know why that they're not showing up. But if you change it to most popular or like most downloaded from download count, that's where you're actually going to find the best ones, the ones that are most used by people. There we go, there's skinwalkers. I don't know why that didn't show up earlier. And usually these are the really fun ones. There is some crazy things on here that just make the game so fun. Lethal Expansion lets you buy new maps, ship loot. Most of these just improve the quality of life when playing the game. So yeah, those are actually the mods. They make the game a lot better. So yeah, that's basically it for Lethal Company. We've got these gifts here. I definitely say it is worth $10. I don't think you're going to find anybody that has gotten the game. There might be some people that have gotten bored of it, but for sure the game is worth $10. I think anybody would pay $10 for this game. It should honestly be worth more. So that's going to be all for this video. I definitely recommend you get Lethal Company. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.